Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to my video blog for London Film and Comic Con 2015. This is almost certainly going to be a pretty long one, so I'm actually going to split it into three parts. Part 2 will cover Saturday, part 3 will cover Sunday. This is part 1, which will be a bit of a prologue. There's been quite a few changes to the event this year, so this will talk in some detail about those. If they don't interest you or you already know quite a bit about the events, feel free to skip this part. I don't think there'll be anything in it that will affect this later parts. Yes, so London Comic Con's been running. They did claim that this year was its 10th anniversary, but I've been doing them 10 years and they existed for at least 1 year before that, possibly 2. First 1 or 2 were at Wembley Arena before they moved to Earl's Court. They've been at Earl's Court ever since, apart from when it's not been available, such as 2012 because of the Olympics. But unfortunately Earl's Court no longer exists as such. It's being knocked down to make way for property and shops, I believe. So its new home is Kensington Olympia, which is where it was held Olympic year and where they've held a couple of winter events as well. It's a good venue, easy to get to, good car parking. The problem they had this year was that the Great Hall at Olympia, which as the name implies is the largest bit, wasn't available to them. It was used by another event up until the Thursday before, so they couldn't hire it because there had been no time to set up. However, they did just rent every other bit of the building, which meant there was plenty of room, but it was across 4 floors. As you can imagine, this caused some fun, which we'll go into in the rest of the videos. One of the other big changes they made, following last year when they had Stan Lee, they had lots of people turn up on the day wanting to get in, but for health and safety reasons, obviously they can only allow a certain number of people into the event. So there was loads of people who never got in or were queuing for hours and hours and hours before they did get in. So what they decided to do this year was make the Saturday, which is traditionally the busiest day, pre-sale only, i.e. you could only buy the event tickets for the event beforehand, you couldn't buy on the day to get in. They also announced at the same time that Sunday they would see how sales went, but there was a possibility that would also go pre-sale only, and the same would apply to the Friday. They also extended the Friday this year. In the past few years it's just been a preview evening where it's been open for about 4 hours on Friday evening, from about 4 to 8 I think was normal. This year they extended it so it was open 10 to 8. Next year they're now talking it's going to be a full day on the Friday with a preview evening on the Thursday. Friday I was working, so there's no chance of me going then anyway, but it does at the moment seem to be the quiet day, which used to be Sunday, but Sunday actually sold out beforehand, so that was also no sales on the day. I hear Friday was actually 90% sold out before, and so only a few people would have been able to actually rock up and get in if they didn't already have their tickets. So that was another change. Another change I introduced was a change to the ticketing pre-sale service. Used to be that you got sent physical tickets through the mail. They've now gone high-tech and you get printed tickets. Sorry about the movement. You get printed tickets, you get email tickets or e-tickets with a barcode on them, such as are used at many events now. This did cause a few problems. Lots of people just don't like change, so when it was introduced they had a moan. Another problem was that they had what they called a validation fee, but it was basically a booking fee. The way they set it up was for each order you did, you had to pay £2.50 validation fee, which is a reasonable amount compared to a lot of them if you're buying tickets for big events, you pay the fee per ticket, not per booking. So if you were buying 10 tickets, you'd pay 10 fees, whereas with Showmaster's system, if you bought 10 tickets all in one go, you would only pay the fee once. However, the fee wasn't automatically added. You had to click on a box to add it, and then tick a couple of boxes to confirm that you had added it, which caused a lot of confusion. Lots of people only ticked the boxes and didn't click on the box that actually added it. There was problems with that box showing up on mobile devices, that's the word I'm looking for. So a lot of people didn't pay it that way. So what Showmasters had to do was then email people afterwards saying, you haven't added the validation fee, click on this, pay your £2.50 and it'll happen. Because without that being done, the tickets they'd already bought would not be valid. So that caused a few headaches. The other headaches were caused by the fact that they didn't introduce the e-ticket system until after tickets had already gone on sale. So some people still had the old style tickets, which wasn't a problem regarding entry, but come the photo shoots, it meant things got a bit complicated, which I'll go into a bit more detail in a minute. Another major change, and possibly the biggest change, was the introduction of the diamond passes. After last year, when so many people turned up just to see Stan Lee, given it was going to be his last ever European event, Showmasters realised that people were willing to pay more if it would guarantee that they would get a guest. Lots of people last year bought special passes that guaranteed them, they're called comic passes, that guaranteed them Stan Lee, and lots of people were turning up just getting Stan Lee and going and paying, £250 or whatever it was, can't remember, just for this privilege. So they realised that there was a demand to pay a bit more for special bigger names. So they announced they were launching these diamond passes. The cost of the pass would vary depending on the guest. What you got would vary depending on the guest. But it was a way of them being able to get money in advance to guarantee that they'll be able to afford bigger names. So they announced this, then it went quiet for a few months, only with word that they were negotiating with various people. First couple of diamond guests they announced actually turned out to be guests they'd had before as non-diamond guests, but the exclusivity with the diamond pass was special events that would only be happening. So one of them was Robert Englund, who played Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street, amongst many other film roles of his. With his diamond pass, you actually got him in a photo shoot in full makeup, something he's only ever done once before, and this is, at the time of speaking, going to be the last time he ever does it. He needed a great deal of persuasion, and for persuasion you can read money, to get him to do it again, because obviously it's a lot of hassle being under all that makeup, under the lights, the time it takes to get put into makeup, etc. So that was why he had a diamond pass. The second one was Christopher Lloyd from the Back to the Future films and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, etc. And his was all tied in with the fact they were having a big Back to the Future reunion. And there was various things. You got special talks, again, special photo shoots with him. Also, if you got the diamond pass for any of those, you were guaranteed your photo shoots, which are pretty much guaranteed anyway, but you were also guaranteed your autographs. For those of you who are unfamiliar, the way the autograph queuing system works is a bit like a deli counter. So you go up to where the person is signing. This is for bigger names. For the lesser names, it's normally not a queue or only a small queue. But for the bigger names, they operate a virtual queuing system where you go up, you pick up a ticket which has got a number on it. That is your place in the queue. The queue will then be called in batches, so 1 to 50, 1 to 100, so on and so forth. Always beginning with 1, and you can join the queue any time after your number has been called. Depending on how quickly the person signs, what else they've got to do during the day, depends how many they get through. So just because you manage to pick up a virtual queue ticket, it's no guarantee that you will actually be seen. Obviously the lower number you have, the more chance there is, which is why in mornings when people go in, normally the first thing they do is not run around, but walk rapidly round and pick up the virtual tickets for all the guests they want to see. With the Diamond Pass, it meant you were guaranteed your autograph, and Diamond Passes were called first, and then only after those people had been seen did they start seeing the people with virtual queue tickets. On top of that, you have Gold Passes. These have been running for a long time. I had one myself for a couple of events. In fact, 10 years ago for my first London Comic Con, I was only doing a day. They had big guests like Carrie Fisher and Elijah Wood, so I bought a Gold Pass, managed to get everybody done, no problem whatsoever. Then I got one for the following Collectormania, decided it wasn't really that much of use to me, because I was having no problems seeing people anyway, so I haven't bought one since. But they're good, especially if you've got a lot of people to get, especially if you've got a lot of photo shoots, because what they allow you, A, you get into the venue before everybody else, but B, it means you don't need a virtual ticket. You can join the back of any queue at any time with regards to autographs. And photo shoots, you get ushered to the front and you go in first, so if you've got lots of photo shoots, it means you can get through them a lot quicker without any waiting around. Helps with clashes. But this year the Diamond Passes actually had precedence over the Gold tickets. For the guests that were Diamond Passes, Gold ticket holders had to have a virtual queue ticket, which caused a bit of fuss, but of course because they're let into the venue earlier, it meant they got nice low numbers anyway, so it shouldn't have been an issue, except for any guest that never got onto the virtual queue tickets, which we will talk about later. So those were the first two Diamond Pass tickets announced. Third one was a real biggie. I think I've got these in the right order. And that was Michael J. Fox. As you might be aware, Michael's got Parkinson's. He's very limited with what he can do, particularly with signing autographs. So he was a lot of money, over £400. I think it's 445, rings a bell. That guaranteed you your photo shoot. It was the only way you could get an autograph with him. They weren't doing virtual queue tickets. He just signed for I think an hour and a half each day, and it was only for Diamond Pass holders. It also gave you access to a couple of talks and various prop photo shoots and a t-shirt and a print, I think. Much as I would have loved to have got Michael's autograph, I couldn't justify spending that amount of money when so much of the stuff you got with the pass, I wasn't interested in the prop shoots. I love Back to the Future, but I'm not such a big fan that I wanted all the t-shirts, etc. I'm as much of a fan of him for other films as I am for Back to the Future. So, as I say, I couldn't really justify spending that amount basically for the autograph and a photo shoot, which is all I'd use of it. Luckily, they were selling photo shoots normally. They were expensive, again, £85 for a normal shoot. You could have paid more and had one with him and the DeLorean, or with the clock face from Back to the Future 3. I just went for the normal photo shoot. So at least I have met him, as you will find out later in part 3. I might repeat little bits of this in the later videos, just for people who have skipped this. So apologies for any repetition. So yeah, that was the first real big Diamond guest announced. Then we announced a couple, again, of slightly lesser ones, which was Michael Gambon. I think he probably wouldn't have been Diamond, apart from the fact he was only there one day. His, again, was cheaper. I think it was around 200, just over, which got you your autograph, your photo shoot, a talk, and a prop shoot, and a print, I think. Again, not a huge amount. I was fairly confident I'd be able to get him without the Diamond Pass. I didn't go for one, just bought the photo shoot. The other one announced at the same time as Bill Paxton. His was much the same package, similar price, and he got similar sort of things. Again, I was confident I'd be able to get in without. And the final Diamond Pass they announced a few weeks later was the real biggie, and that was Sigourney Weaver. First time Sigourney's ever done anything like this. As soon as she was announced, I thought, oh, I really want Sigourney. It was £385, I think, for her. But with that, you got your guaranteed autograph, which would have cost £95 on its own. Photo shoot with her, which was around that amount. Another photo shoot with her and the Aliens power loader, which was over £100. You also got a print. There's 2 talks included, although I didn't go to either of those for time reasons. You also got a photo shoot with Carrie Henn, who played Newt in Aliens, and an autograph with her, all included. So with the value of each individual item, just for the ones I used, I actually was only paying sort of 60 quid extra for the guarantee of meeting her, which for me seemed like a good deal, so I went for that. Yeah, so that was the Diamond Passes and how they worked. I think that's pretty much it for what happened in advance and the changes. Anything else I shall mention in parts 2 or 3, but that's it for part 1. Thank you.